Good morning, from Papa Bear, aka Sammy, asleep on his mama's bed. And he's not going to move. He doesn't care who's talking. Well, it is a beautiful day, as you can see out the window. It's absolutely gorgeous. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because the full moon was just so powerful. Couldn't believe it when I got up at about 3 o'clock this morning to make a cup of tea. And yeah, just look at the sunshine in here. And the moon was so bright I could have gone for a walk down through the woodland gardens and not needed a torch. It was just amazing. So, you know what JACK is waiting for, don't you? What are you waiting for, Jack? He says, come on, look, I'm telling you. I'm sitting by the back door. Shall we go out for a little walk? Shall we walk down to the post box? Yeah. Got my coffee with me. A little bit late, I know, but I've been busy lighting the stove and listen to the birds. Isn't that lovely? There's still a few nasturtiums out, even though we have had very, very cold temperatures. And as you can see, the wheelbarrow is stuffed full of plants because I've been clearing the potager beds just to give the kale a good shot. I must just show you what I'm doing with the kale here, because just in case you don't know about this, I'm taking the tops off the kale because obviously I'm using it, and then you can see all these little sprouts, look. So we'll have some nice bushy kale as the winter progresses, and you can see it here, how that's going to happen. The kale will keep producing even through frost and snow. It's an amazing plant. I think that wheelbarrow is going to tip before I get it over to the compost heap. Oh, it's such a lovely morning. Right, Jack, shall we go on this way? Now, an update on the Goddess book. Yes, it's still at the printers. There were a few more glitches to iron out. The text was still rolling a bit, and just stuff like that. So I've gone through it all page by page again, and I've PDF'd it off to Jerry in Dublin at ePrint, and fingers crossed, well, fingers, toes and everything else crossed, that this time it should be fine. Actually, it was a good thing that it came back to me, because I wanted just to sort of realign the text a wee bit, so I've put it all on a left alignment, which should solve the problem. Lovely coffee, look. And I see that the government here in Ireland has brought in a 15 cents charge on all disposable cups, which is a good thing, but I would have preferred it to have been a deposit, because I think where you have a deposit on cups, then you know you'll get people who will make the effort and you know, pick them up and bring them back, especially kids. Well, myself, I would do it. Oh, look who's running down the driveway with me. The little minx. she's a very playful little girl. Not like her big Uncle Sam, who's stretched out on my luxury mattress. He probably gets more enjoyment out of that new mattress than what I do. Because let's face it, he's sleeping in there all night. He gets up for breakfast and then he slunks back into the bedroom and proceeds to snore the day away. Look at her. She's very playful. So I'm using my camera. I'm going to keep my iPhone for, well, mainly for WhatsApping and for photographs and for little videos when I'm out. But WhatsApp is amazing because I really am able to have these lovely face-to-face, one-to-one chats anywhere now with my children. And hopefully my friends as well. Now there was quite a lot of heavy rain last night, and you can just hear pond. Oh look, the pond is really very full and all the gunner is dying back here. I'm hoping to get down here now sometime this week actually, and cut all the gunera and just trim back around the pond there, because it's actually much bigger than what it looks. Jack, come here. Come on. The winter garden. It's very beautiful when you have water in it. Look at this. I never cease to be amazed, you know, with this land. I never cease to be amazed. Like 13 years ago, this was a rushy field, just like next door. And look how the entire chemistry has changed. Nature is very magical and so powerful. There's some little life there, just on the pond. Little water beetles, I think. Look at that. Little water beetles in November. Isn't that beautiful? Just so amazing. Amazing and beautiful. I mean, look at that for a scene. You would think that that had been there for like hundreds of years. 13 years ago there was no ditch or stream or water. There was just boggy land with rushes. And people asked me, what was it I was asked the other day? One of the comments under YouTube. Something about how... Oh yes, that was it. How did I get rid of the rushes? Well, you see, my philosophy has got nothing to do with getting rid of anything. I don't get rid of anything. And really, when you think of it, it's actually a terrible phrase, you know, getting rid, as though it's completely unwanted. Well, rushes do have a place in the ecosystem, but when they become a monoculture, because there's nothing else growing, then there's a problem. And the problem isn't in the rushes, the problem is in the guardians of the land. And we are the guardians of the land. I didn't get rid of them. I just went into the field of rushes and I started to plant. And you see, plants will push other plants out. And this is why there are no, well, there might be the occasional the occasional rush, might be here or there. Very hard to see them. Because all I did over 13 years was to plant intensively and mow. And when I say mow, I mowed with a lawnmower, not one of those sit and ride things, a pushing lawnmower, and I just mowed the paths. Like these are the paths here, you see, they're still here. But they hardly need mowing now because they've become woodland paths. So I'm happy to say I never got rid of anything. I don't believe in getting rid. I believe in, you know, trying to manage, trying to help Mother Earth rebalance. Because we've put her out of balance, you see. We have done that. She hasn't done that. The animal kingdom haven't done that. Oh, talk about animals. There's a wee wild one. It's the lesser known tree cat. Beauty! Try and hold this now without. That's it. There she is. There's the little beaut. Now how do I manage cats? Because I don't want them out killing birds. Well, most of the time, little beaut, well in fact all of the time, beaut is very, very nearby, as she is now. But she's had a jolly good feed this morning. Always a good big breakfast. So she's playful, but she's not hungry. And I think it's the hunger in the female cats which can drive them to be very steadfast in their hunting, you know. There's the big Hebes I'll have to trim back. And look, it's flowering. Isn't that amazing? November flowering, but I think because it's in a very sheltered space now, sheltered because of all the plants and the trees, and also it's near to water, so I think the temperature, it's been kept at a more ambient temperature, I think because of the influence of the water. Come here, Jack. It's okay, come here, come on. He just sits down here at the gate, sort of inside. Jack, come here. I just check my post box. Now there's little beauts coming down, so we'll have to... Oh, it's empty. So I'm going to make my way back up now and call the animals in. Come on. Jack, come on. Good boy. Come on, Beauts. Beauty. Psh, psh. Come on, good girl. So I have to go out this morning now to to another printer's, but this is more local. It's not Dublin, because Dublin is a good 3-hour drive. This printer is in Carrick-on-Shannon. There are local printers, but they don't print books as such. But they have agreed to print a small book for me, which is only 50 pages, but I just want to have it done properly and I want it bound. And this is the little Christmas book that I'm working on. The original book I produced about 5 years ago, and it was just in black and white. It was basically photocopied and stapled together. But people were very thrilled with it and they really loved it, and many of you who bought the book actually held on to it. And so I decided I was going to rework it and turn it into a full colour, because some of the images that I've captured here over the years, you know, with the snow and everything, have just been beautiful. So I thought I'd turn it into a full colour, small book, just 50 pages, properly bound, and so I PDF'd the document last night to the printers in Carrick, and I'm going in there this morning now to meet with what is his name? Can't think of his name now offhand. But I'm going in to meet with him, and he's going to have a look at the file and tell me if everything's okay, and if so, then I'm going to pay to have it printed. There will be limited copies though, because the payment for the Goddess book has gone in and has left me rather kind of, you know, tight on the purse. So I'm going to be just, you know, ordering the copies that I can afford, which will probably be about, well, I don't know, maybe 200. We'll see. I just thought it would be a nice thing to do, and I just enjoyed doing it as well, you know. And it's a nice thing to share, and I did put some recipes in there as well, because people have been asking me for recipes. So I've put in my own recipe, obviously my own recipes, my own recipe for soup, my own recipe for the easiest bread you will ever bake. Things have got to be quick and easy here, you see, because my time is taken up with the land. And then there's also a recipe for some nice brownies. So I thought, you know, soup, bread and brownies. What more do you want? Oh, of course. Those of you who like a little tipple at Christmas, I've put a little recipe in there for how to make very good for you fruit liqueur. So these are all the things that I have here at Bealtaine. Such a beautiful morning. Do you know, each season I think to myself, this is my favourite season. So I can't actually say at this point, oh, summer is my favourite or spring is my favourite, because at this moment in time, winter is my favourite. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. Now, look at that. Can you see all that smoke rising up? Well, I hope it's not smoke. Hope the cottage isn't on fire. No, it's actually steam. Can you see it? That's steam rising off the roof at the back. Let me just walk around the back now and see. Do you know what I think would be lovely? Because I do need a new roof. I mean, that goes without saying. Anyone who's seen my roof will know that. But oh yeah, that's a steam, look. I do need a new roof. Do you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to turn the loft into a big bedroom and put Velux windows in the roof so I could see the night sky. That would be utterly beautiful. Would be lovely. Maybe even a few solar panels, but I'm not that bothered about solar panels. But I think Velux windows, you know, on the south side, they'd let in so much warmth as well. Because where you have light, you have warmth. Huh? So there we go. I shall go in now and get my bag and gear together, ready to pop into town to see my other printer. That sounds very grand, doesn't it? Blessings to you all.